everybody to our meeting tonight. As you know, Chairman Shoulders is out of state with his wife, and we wish them the best. And we don't have anybody who has requested to speak to the board and signed in on the list, so we'll go ahead and get started. If it's all right, I'd like to ask Mr. McCaleb if he would lead us in prayer and do the prayer list for us.
Yes, sir, thank you. Remember Diana Shoulders, Ricky's wife, who's Joe Taylor. She's out tonight. Scotty, Mr. Jack Williams, her family, and Joe Huff Senior has passed away. There's Tommy Tisler, there's Judy Taylor, and Courtney Taylor, Joe and Michelle Son, Joe Kemp family, Bobby Smith family. We will remember our students and their staff here. Is there any others that you might want to run? That's right. Remember those in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina and the one that's coming across. Thank you for reminding me. Any others?
I haven't spoken.
All right. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you, Father. We just thank you for a day that we enjoyed in the weather here at our home county here, and thank you for that. We pray for those that are struggling, that have lost family members and homes and just total devastation. And we pray for protection, Father, for those that are in the eye of that hurricane coming across Florida now, God, and give them wisdom. And Lord, we pray for these that's on this list. You know at heart, you know that you're a healer. We believe in you, God. We believe in the divine word that you sent your word. You sent your word in the form of Jesus. And thank you for salvation that we can have through him and his blood that cleanses us. And we just give you glory and honor for this and what you've done for us each and every one. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, we'll go ahead and get started in here. I know all of you had a chance to look at your board packets and things and review all that. And glad to see all of you and glad everybody could be here. We've got some consent items on the list. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
I'll make a motion to approve all the consent items A, B, and C.
Thanks, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Doc. Any discussion at all? All right, we'll roll call this. Do you?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ennis?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes, sir.
Tommy?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
And myself, yes. We've got superintendent actions next. I'm sure y'all have had a chance to review all of those. Any questions regarding that? If not, then we'll move on to new business. First item on that is bid approval for gasoline and diesel fuel. Do I have a motion to approve that? Do I have a motion? Thank you, Doc.
I second.
Thank you. We've got a motion and a second. We'll roll call that again. Doc? Tommy?
Yes.
Mr. McCaleb?
Yes.
Mr. Ennis?
Yes.
All right, sir, and you as well? And myself, yes. All right, and the next item we have on the agenda is the bid approval for a Type C bus. Diane, the supervisor at the bus garage, is not hardly here yet, so if it's okay with other board members, I'm going to move that towards the end of the items on the agenda to give her an opportunity to get here. So if you have any questions about that, I just think that's a fair thing to do if everybody's in agreement on
She
that.
may or may not. It just depends on how the route goes, but I think I can answer them, but I'd rather her hear directly.
Well, and we'll give her that. I think that's fair to give her that opportunity in case any of the board have questions about that. So if that's all right, we'll skip on down to item new business C, backup vendor for the Chromebooks. I know y'all have had a chance to review all of that. Do I have a motion to approve that? This is for a backup vendor.
I make that motion.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, and since we're spending money, we'll go ahead and do a roll call. Doc? Tommy?
Yes.
Mr. McCallum?
Yes,
Mr. Enid? And of course,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Thank you. The next item that we've got on the agenda is the BOE Connect annual maintenance fee, and this is a recurring thing that we do. It's nothing out of the ordinary or new. However, it is $3,000. And it provides you with the information there of what we receive for that each year with the BOE Connect. Are there any questions involving that?
Explain that.
That's this program that we're using for the board meetings. They house all of our agendas and minutes. We can vote online, all of that.
It does a better job condensing it in a more professional manner. It takes a lot of hours out of them, and really takes the human error aspect out of it a lot too, and transferring it.
Dot, one thing that, just to add on to what you're saying, not to drag it out, but one thing I really like about it is it allows us to put all this up here where the public can see it in case they can't hear us speaking. And I just think that's good, that the public can see
Yeah, the
what we're
public
talking
can-
about, and it's right there in front of them in black and white. So we've had discussion on that, and I'm sorry, going back up a little bit. Do we have a motion to approve that? Have we already?
You already have a motion.
Okay, and motion and second. So we've already gone through it, and that's the only question that we had, and we've already. All right, any other questions related to that? All right. And I got off track here just a little bit, so are we ready to vote for that, or did we already vote that one in? All right, so Doc,
Yes.
Tommy,
Yes.
Marty,
yes, sir.
Mr. Enid,
Yes. Yes.
Jay? All right, and myself, yes. Thank you. The next item we've got on the agenda is the selection of a legislative liaison. And I'll let the director explain what that role actually is. It's kind of new. We've had one that was a former board member, so if you don't care to explain that.
It's actually a new, I think it started last year, and
Did.
it's a direct link to legislature for us to voice our opinion and for us to get information directly back for them. I don't think we can make somebody do it, but we have to have somebody appointed, at least the emails. It can't come to me or Robin or it's gotta be one of y'all. So we would love for you to be active in it, but at the same time, I don't think we could mandate you had to do it, could we? I mean, but as active as you could be in it would be great. If anybody would like to volunteer for that, or
What is the time invested in something like that?
this is a new, I can't give you an honest, because Robin, I don't have a clue, do you? Because it would just be the legal, I would say, like what we're getting, so that you're coming directly.
Last year, since the School Board Association started this, and they want to.
It was right at the end, when we,
Every board has to give up a contact, and then what they actually require you to do is they like you in the school hall session, and then they like you to attend at least your district hall meeting, and then if they do the dam, the deal where they do the advocate stuff, if you can make it, that's what the Tennessee School Board Association.
I think it's more to create a better relationship directly with the school systems.
And then that gives you a point of contact, like you were saying, especially, more so if there's more emails, balls, looking to change this, you can go to your state senator, congressperson, or no, against this, and they bring it back to the board and say, hey, I got these, probably, I don't think it happens every month, maybe possibly.
And we're probably getting the same,
Yeah,
Tracy's probably getting the same emails.
Did the same thing.
Yeah, but they're just wanting to create a better partnership with the board.
I imagine this is in response to vouchers, it's the TSBA's response to get people in to, at a more local level, to voice their opinion on that issue. We've been thinking about this, but I think it's a good thing to be involved in that.
How much time it involved, I don't know, Mr. Glover was on last year.
And we reappoint every year.
If you remember, we got the one appointed last year got in, it was late. I mean, only like 2 meetings or something, wasn't it? And I don't think we had a chance to get very active in it after the way it started.
I don't want to put stone on anybody's shoulder or anything like that, but Tommy, you've been pretty involved in some of that stuff. Would you be willing to volunteer for a year to?
I would probably volunteer for a year. Nobody else would want to do it. It's kind of like a point person. It'll coach me along, I'll volunteer the next year.
That's,
Be all right, no? Well, and you know, and I'll say this, I don't want to drag this out, but like, it'll also give you a little opportunity to kind of get your feet and get to the state training and all that stuff too. And if you all want to interact or, you know, whatever, but we're going to reappoint every year anyway, so that's fine.
I was, thinking, it'd be hard to put a new member on this, first year. Yeah, I'd be willing to do it.
I know looking back for, when I first got here, I sure wasn't wanting on my shoulders first year. Well, I'll tell you, can I get somebody, I know you're gonna volunteer, but can I get somebody to make a motion to nominate Mr. Manning
I
in
make
that?
a motion that we.
Thank you.
Mr. Manning for this position.
Thank you, Marty. Do I have a second? Thank you, Doc. All right, so all in favor, we're not spending any money, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval for school level Chromebook purchase. I know you've had a chance to look at that. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, as y'all sit here, y'all same thing, we buy a lot of Chromebooks. You make sure you stop me if I'm wrong, I'm saying. I think we've got it now where every student in the school system has access to a Chromebook. We did that over the years, which had a really big component. But kids are hard on Chromebooks. So you're always having to replace.
their lifespan's what, 3 year?
Yeah, I would say.
If that-
We try to stretch them 5, but realistically,
About-
about 3.
Yeah.
I think of a bunch of kids accidentally drop them, so you'll see this periodically every year.
And we've got a whole lot of them through grants, and we had one private donor donated several $1,000s last year. So we've been very fortunate in the way we've got the money too.
I know my second year, I asked the question, why are we buying so many Chromebooks? And it's every year. But you can see there the list of what's taking place with every school, the number of Chromebooks that are proposed to be purchased here. So are there any other questions with respect to that? Yes, sir.
They've got a maintenance agreement, yeah. But you get into a lot of how you can enforce some of that. Yeah. But we do have. We do, yeah. But you get into, economically disadvantaged and some situations, students with IEPs and stuff are under a little different, laws. But yes, we do, the ones we can enforce.
Any other questions? All right, well, if not, we're spending money. So we'll do a roll call here. Mr. Hessen,
Yes.
Mr. Ennis,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes, sir.
Tommy,
Yes.
Doc, myself, yes. And Doc, appreciate your questions on that. That's a good question. The next item on the agenda is the work and bid approvals for the wellness centers. I know you've had a chance to look at that, and I will let the director speak on that for a moment.
Did we get the vote on that?
Is it not showing you? It should be.
Which one did we
All
not?
the way to the bottom?
I did, yeah.
I'm at the bottom.
It showed up on mine. Did it pop up there, Robin? Yeah, if you come on down, it's on there.
I'm in the wrong box. Did you get yours?
Are you good now, Tommy?
Yeah, thank you.
Well, the first time I'd seen it too, I kept scrolling and finally saw it at the bottom there. Back to the bid approvals on the wellness centers, and I'm gonna I know you may have some questions on that, but before we get into any discussion, having looked at it, and then if you have some questions, do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I know the director would like to talk about that a lot.
I would highly encourage I wish each and every board member would see the buildings. I never dreamed we could have something like that in Smith County, especially two of them. They are absolutely phenomenal. Being there off the charts, what we thought they'd be when we started. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities for a lot of different things for kids after hours. I've actually talked to the judge about trying to write a grant to maybe even do some of their community service hours to get them off the street, so to speak, and let us do some sign-in stuff, and maybe get a grant where we can hire teachers or people works for the system to come in on the weekends, and with our card system, we'll be able to tell who comes in and out of the buildings, but we'd love to give you a personal tour. I'd love for you to see them, because I never thought we could have anything like that. Sure didn't think we'd have it, not have anything in it, totally free for the county. So, Ben's done a phenomenal job, putting it all together and with our contractor, but, and we're just where we're at, progressing now. We're getting down to the paving and the asphalt and the concrete sidewalks and so on, so that's what the stuff is about tonight.
How far are we out? Since this notice got, I don't get to go in and walk around like we do on the weekend. How far are we out to get close to the floors?
Floors, we think will go down this next week, and then they're really close. They're kind of just staying on a pattern, going from that building to this building. That one, we really thought we'd be close to being it after fall break. And this, I would think, 45 days behind after Thanksgiving?
Really hoping now, probably, just with any kind of contingencies going on, probably just to give ourselves a little bit of Thanksgiving and Christmas, probably where we're at.
The north was pretty, it's pretty.
Oh, they've got their painting and their cut, and the flooring's there. I went over and opened the box and seen what the flooring looked like. They've really pretty much got it done, but laying the flooring and the artwork or whatever little we do on the artwork. They'll still like the plumbing and that stuff, but
You all have a chance to get with the director and walk those off and see some of that work. It's amazing. And again, that was cost-free to the county to, yes, sir.
to this point,
Yep. We're
We
gonna
think
be
we're
paying
gonna
for
stay in
paving
budget.
and
We're right
stuff,
on.
but the buildings and structures and things. It, say one more time.
I went in the board one day.
Pretty impressed with it.
It's pretty big.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
this is 3,000 square foot bigger than that one.
You need to see this one back here.
Now they can set that one down in that, it's, it was just the way that, it wasn't trying to make a difference, it just, all we could fit. We had to put the heating and cooling units we could set them outside over here where we had to put them inside over there. And just the restraints of the way the parking lot, but we got 2 full courts of both of them.
Yeah, go back there and see that sometime. It's massive.
They're really nice.
It's massive. Any other questions related to that or discussion?
Again, I wish, be happy, I wish that y'all would come and we'd love to show it to you. I mean, you one-on-one or go after the meeting or like for you to see them.
It's hard to, he and I went down about a month ago and walked this stuff down here. It's almost, you can't imagine, it's nearly staggering when you walk in there and see the size of those things. It's massive. And then, of course, the way it's going to benefit our children in the community, that's hard to pass. That's just hard to pass up on.
And they're actually gonna be bigger enough for every sport. If they use the right shoes and clothing, they'll be able to use them. And you got the curtain pulled up, they're monsters.
Any other discussion on it?
What's the deal with the woodwork on the very top paragraph?
What?
The woodwork.
Can you get away with it?
No, we turned in those bids, several, few months back, and there was a list of stuff that we bid out. You're gonna get some bids on some things, and some we just bid. So our general contractor was actually gonna handle all the wood, so you all approved the wood work.
I think he's asking what the actual, I think he's talking about the floor joist and,
Well, it's the mezzanine stuff, it's on top of the classroom space, so that's where the majority of the woodwork's gonna come in, so it's kind of where contractors have described it to me, it's kind of a deck area.
talking about above the coach's office and stuff, yeah.
Right. The reason this one's probably higher, not probably, the architect made us use a bigger eye joist.
Well, it's got a lot more span. It's
Yeah, so it's a
almost
big
double,
space.
it's almost double the decking too, as far as actual square footage.
Right, so it's just a bigger space. Okay. Yeah, and then we didn't have any other bids, we went out and tried to solicit a few. Okay. Yeah, so we've kind of, in other areas that has happened, our general contractors handle those.
Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we've got a motion and a second. Mr. Hessen?
Now, you'll need a motion to.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Since we're talking about money, Mr. Hessen?
Yes.
Mr. Enid? Marty?
Yes, sir.
Tommy?
Yes.
Doc? Myself, yes. Thank you. And I encourage y'all, listen, you know, we don't want to like drag on all that long. I know everybody has things, but ask these questions. I mean, that they can give you the explanation of those things, and that's a good question, Marty, and always ask them. Let's go back. I don't think Diane's here yet. Let's
There
go
she
back.
is.
Is she here?
Yeah,
Well, you're just in time.
it's perfect.
She called my name, or I called her name, she walked in, so let's go back to, new business, B, bid approval for one Type C 78 passenger school bus. And as you can see on there, the summary request to approve the low bid of $134,591 for one Type C 78 passenger school bus from Central State Bus Sales to replace the 78 passenger bus that was totaled in the accident in May of 2024. So I know you've had a chance to look at some of that paperwork. To get to discussion, do I have a motion to approve this? Thank you, Doc. Do I have a second? Thank you, sir. Now, discussion. I know we're gonna have a little bit, so, and thank you for being with us. Anybody has any questions? Miss Diane, the supervisor of the bus garage and director here. I know Tommy probably has some commentary on it, so feel free.
This is replacing the bus.
Brian Leslie was the driver, and he drives the conventional. And I know we prefer the snub mills typically, and for years it was only a couple $1,000 difference. The insurance gave us $130,000 to replace this bus. A brand new stub mills, in addition to being 15 months out, is $155,000. I I don't think the few issues that we have with the type C equal $20,000. I've got 7 of them down there, full-size buses, the drivers drive them, 54, 56, have held up just as well as the type Bs that are the same age. They've been on the route 12 and 13 years. We haven't had to replace leaf springs, 64 and 65, for newer buses, we've had to replace leaf springs for some of these county roads. So I get that the front end is lighter, but put to the test, they have held up on these same county roads as the other, and I just can't see not saving $20,000, which is why.
Well, I don't know what you pulled, we were very fortunate on the insurance, we were actually negotiating about 60 or 65,000 on the loss and ended up getting 130.
And apparently the new policy was replacement value. And I gave them the list of the 2 companies that I was aware of that sell used buses, but they're not in Tennessee, and Tennessee is so strict with their stuff, they had to give us the cost of the 2 buses.
If I just quit fussing and wrote us a check for a new one, the lower price.
Is it the diesel or gas?
Diesel. Everything's the same, it's just the conventional versus the snub mills. And most bus companies there are more conventional buses on the road in the United States than there are snub mills. They're tried and true. I get it, on our back county roads, they could beat them up, but they're beating up the other buses too. And like I said, apples to oranges they may be, but $20,000 is a lot of money. When I have 6 or 7 down that we've driven for 10 or 12 years with no other issues, basically the same as my snub mills. I prefer a snub. That's what I learned driving. It's like putting on comfortable tennis shoes. The drivers that are in the conventional prefer the conventional. They don't like a snubby. They handle different. Barry Cook, Brian Leslie, Millie Adams, Larry Hackett, who's my other one? Billy Randall Smith. They are all in my big 78 passenger snubbies, and they were, conventionals. And Barry Cook will drive a 12-year-old snub mills or conventional bus before he'll take a brand new bus. It's just the way they handle it. It's what they're used to. They work on their grounds. But the ultimatum is because I know even I prefer the snub mills. I can't rectify a $20,000 difference.
Just a point of clarification, and I appreciate you saying that. We have it in our budget for this, but to go with the other type bus would exceed our budget.
No, where this bus was involved in an accident.
Right.
It is not in my buses. Those buses are already ordered.
Right.
So there is no money in my budget for this bus.
Well, speaking in another way, we have the money to pay for this, but if we go the other route, it's going to exceed our budget that we've set by $20,000. Is that correct?
We've got let me say this, we've got a system, well, instead of buying a fleet, like a lot of them, we buy 2 a year. So what we do. And it works out pretty good. That way, we're not having to hit a big chunk. Well, this got her out of rhythm when this bus got totaled. And that's why she's had to replace the bus. Otherwise, the other was already in the budget. Say, the other 2, that's reason there wasn't ordered, or they'd be in, she'd be a year behind too. That's what she's saying.
But this one is just being replaced with insurance
With
money.
the insurance money, the insurance money will put her back in rhythm with a new bus.
For it, we would be short $20,000. The other part of that is, they're telling me I can get the conventional in 6 to 9 months. We are still waiting on a bus that we ordered over a year and a half ago. It's supposed to show up in November that we paid $155,000 for. We've just bid 2 more that you guys approved, and we went with the snub mills. And those are not expected to come in until August or September of next year. So $20,000, I can get the bus 6 to 9 months. I need a bus.
Actually, with this bus, like, it's gonna save you on the back end in 2 or 3 years where it would catch, because you're gonna get a free bus.
Because I'll have that one already in there.
And we stay within our budget.
Few specs on that bus that are not met. The width of it, wheelbase, a few things like that. That doesn't open us up to any kind of liability if something goes wrong with it.
On the what, I can't,
But the wheelbase on this one, I think, was several inches shorter than.
The wheelbase is, well,
I'm assuming that this.
I'm not
area
sure which specs you guys
is the
put in there.
specs that we're supposed to
They,
like that.
yeah, they would meet or exceed.
Very minor, but
Yeah, no, well, I mean, that's a good question. The Bluebird bus is a heavier built, like Tommy and I've always said. I mean, I believe in a Bluebird too, but I see your point. But,
this is the Bluebird.
Yes.
it's still a Bluebird? I thought we were bidding, it's a snub nose versus, but
I
it's,
think that.
they're a legal bus or they wouldn't be being produced, you know, yeah.
I won't bore the new board members with buses, but I know buses, so I'm gonna sit here and be quiet. After the vote, then we'll talk again in the meeting. My stance is, but I know how they're built. I mean, all the motor industry's been there 40 years. This is fine.
And it's a personal preference. I've drove both a lot. I like the snub nose a lot better. I can turn it around in a parking lot a lot easier.
Well, with the dimensions on these newer ones, that's not true anymore. It used to be.
Yeah, but I feel like I can see
So
out in front of me.
I'm looking at the specs and the only ones that are X are, the full length rear is the mud flap. It's not full length because that's designed a little bit different now on the conventional and stuff. If it doesn't have an X in the box next to it, it meets or exceeds the specs.
But they would have to be safety. That's the bus being sold across the continental United States.
Specifications. I spec other things on them and do different things tailored to what we like at the time. But they'll meet all of the state Tennessee specs. The alternator on it is a higher one than was in my original specs, and those things kind of change year to year. They'll meet all the Tennessee specs.
Is this the first time we've got one from this particular company?
No, all of my ones down there are Bluebirds.
Oh, okay.
Every conventional I have, we have
I
four.
just now noticed that,
We have four special needs buses that are the conventional, that are all Bluebirds, and I have six of the large 1 72 passenger, and 5 78 passengers, and every one of them are Bluebird.
You're running it all Bluebird.
Yes, sir. We got rid of the Thomases we got rid of the Thomases years ago, and we had a lot of problem with the Thomases, but they say they're better built now too, but they haven't been in a couple of years.
What's the next step down from the 72 to 30, about 50 something, as far as passenger rate?
The passenger, it's 2 seats, a 70, repeat your question.
This one holds 78. You said it was 72 to 30.
72 would be the next one.
And what's the next one after down from 72?
It'd be a 66.
I'm just wondering, do we have any buses that are that full?
Yes.
We do.
Where we've deleted so many routes. Now, they might not be full at all the times, but when they're at their main schools, most of our buses where we've had to downsize are filled to capacity.
Oh, but I was just questioning.
Which it, and it's
You see so many
78.
car riders
Right.
now that
A
ain't no way to ride a
78
bus.
There's not that much price difference on the 72.
Well, I haven't been to 72 in so long, it would be hard to tell the last 72 passenger I had.
Not be much.
Right.
I started to say there's not much difference in a 50 passenger up.
Different between the conventional and the diesel, we were talking $2,000 or whatever, so yeah, I'm gonna go with a snubby. But like I said, and I don't know what the reason is, but a $20,000 difference, I cannot fathom not taking that and not spending that money out of our already tight budget.
I'm just glad that all that many people ride the bus. 'Cause it seems like
They do.
you drive by these schools, you think nobody rides the bus anymore.
Well, the seats are so high and the windows are so high, you can't see all your first, second,
I'm just talking about the
third
people parked in the roads
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
get in.
That is true. And some of them I actually probably increased because when we had to modify the routes, we picked up kids all over. At 6 o'clock in the morning, and when the parents live 5 miles from their school, they're like, why do I need to pick up, so it's a pretty even mix, but most of my buses are extremely full.
Anyone else? Again, appreciate you being frugal with our money and keeping budget in line. Appreciate that. We've got if there's no one else, we've got a motion and a second. We are spending money, so Mr. Hassan,
Yes.
Mr. Enid, Mr. McCallum,
Yes.
Tommy,
I'm gonna abstain.
okay, Doc,
Yes,
and myself, yes. Thank you for being able to make it and give us some detailed explanations about that. We do not have any items on for discussion. You have your annual policy reviews that I'm sure you've had a chance to look at. Madam Attorney, do we have any need for an executive session? All right. With that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Say it again? Yeah.
I'll second.
All right, so I have a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor? Any opposed?
Is there next meeting on the regular date?
It should go back to regular.
19?
November 19th,
Yes.
All right, well, we're adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate all of you.